Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachelle. It is lovely to have you here. If you're new, I post videos on Tuesday and Friday mornings at 7 AM Australian Brisbane time. Our channel is about slow intentional living for families. If that is something you're interested in, I would love for you to subscribe. So today's video, I wanted to share with you some of the things that you'll have time for when you slow down. So recently I have been sharing a lot more stuff over on Instagram about slow living, and I'm really enjoying the topic in general. I think it is something that's really important for families that have got small kids, and I have a 2.5-year-old son, and I am about to have my second son in a few short weeks. So yeah, it's definitely the time in life when things have slowed down. So let's get into the list. One of the things that you will have time for when you slow down is going to bed at the time that you agree with yourself that you'll go to bed. In our busy worlds, we do tend to stay up late just to get a few more things done. But when you prioritize slow living, you'll be able to make the choice more easily to go to bed at the time that you want to go to bed. I don't know how often in my life I have said, all right, I'm going to start going to bed at 9 o'clock and getting up early because I'm a morning person. But I always end up staying up until 10 or 10:30, and it just means that the next day starts off on the wrong foot. So the more committed to slow living I become, the more I find that prioritizing going to bed at the time that I want to go to bed has really benefited my days. Another thing that you'll have time for when you slow your life down is stopping to play with your kids when they ask you. I don't know how often Max comes up to me and asks, can you play with the ball with me? Can we do painting? Can we do this, that, the other? Mummy, can you come and watch me do this? And my default reaction is to say yes in a minute, or after I've done this, or I'll just do this thing and then I'll be there. But the more I prioritize slow living, the more I'm likely to be able to say, okay, let's do it. Now, this isn't to the point of indulging your kids so that you drop everything every single time they want you to do something. Obviously, there are going to be times when you can't just drop everything, but when you are prioritizing slow living, it creates opportunities in your life to just drop everything when you need to or when the time's right, so that you have the ability to play with your kids. And also at the same time, when you are playing with your kids, that you are really present with them, and you're actually engaging in the game or engaging in painting with them, and you're not just sort of sitting there like flicking through your phone or trying to reply to emails or thinking about other things. You're actually there with them because they can really tell the difference. So in the same vein as having the time to play with your kids, you'll also have the time and the patience for just one more book. Every single night when I read to Max, I say, all right, we're going to turn the light off, and he always asks me to read him another book. I do want to read him more books, but if I'm thinking about all the things that I've got to get done after he's gone to bed, then I just want to rush through the bedtime. But when I slow down and really concentrate on what I'm doing in the moment, then I realize that it's okay to read one more book, and there are some things that are negotiable. And you might say, I want to set the limit that I say it's bedtime, so now it's bedtime, but I think one more book is okay. But it goes further than just one more book at bedtime. It might be one more puzzle or 5 more minutes at the park or things like that. So you just allow a little bit of margin in your life. When you slow down your life, you will find the time to engage in the hobbies and learning new skills that you always put off. I'm sure you have a list, and I know I do, of things that you've always wanted to do or try or learn, or books you've wanted to read, and you have all these high hopes that one day you'll be able to find the time. But that time is never going to find itself. You have to find it. Yeah, so when you take the time to slow down, you'll have more time for listening and noticing the things that people have done. So I know when I'm feeling really overwhelmed or rushed, or I'm just getting through the day, I'm more likely to notice the things that, say, my husband hasn't done. He hasn't taken the bin out. And how does that affect me? That makes me feel more busy and rushed. So I start to be a bit more negative and cranky towards him because of the things that he hasn't done, versus being more able to notice the things that he has done that help our family, which makes things a little bit easier for everybody. And on that as well, often when we overclutter our diaries and we fill up our weeks with busyness, it means we're saying no to something, and usually that means the stuff that we really want to be doing, or the stuff that really makes our life feel fulfilling and valuable. And that includes building on our relationships, specifically the relationships with the people that we live with, so our husbands or wives or partners and our kids. It is really hard to find the time to sit, and usually at night time during the week everybody's so tired that you just collapse onto the couch and you can't muster up the energy for a conversation, let alone a connected conversation. So having a little bit of a slower lifestyle means that you might have those pockets and moments in your week where you can actually connect with your partner, and obviously that intimacy is really important as well. It depends on your own personal and family priority as to what you want to achieve for your day, for your week, for your month, for your year, and ultimately for your life. So for us, it's family connection, and that's what we prioritize. You have to be really intentional with how you spend your time and what you spend your time on, and then also, more importantly, what you choose to not spend your time on. So often we have a list of values that we want to live our life by, but the things we spend the most time on are not in alignment with our values. So it's all about rejigging the way that you live your life so that you're living up to your own expectations of how your life should be and what you want it to look like. So the things that I've pointed out are obviously in alignment with what I think is important for my life and how I find fulfillment. I haven't really done too much in terms of career, because at this moment in time I'm a stay-at-home mum. I do work a couple of days a week, but it's in support of my husband who has a business, so I help him with his business. And that is a priority for me. At the moment, my career is on the back burner until later on down the track. So maybe your career is on your list of priorities, and it's the thing, you might have to reduce your social engagement so that you can do further study to improve your career prospects, or whatever it is. It is just because these are the things that are on my list doesn't mean that they're the things that have to be on your list. But if you are watching this video, you're probably a mum and probably have similar aspirations for your life and for your family. Please do let me know in the comments below what things you would love to find a little bit more time for if you could only find a way to slow down. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And if you did enjoy it, please subscribe. I would absolutely love to have you. And have a beautiful day. Bye!